we think about the founding of the United States, we often picture public figures like George Washington, Thomas Jefferson, and Benjamin Franklin. We think of documents like the Declaration of Independence and the Constitution. And we think of religious influences like Puritanism, Anglicanism, and even deism. But one tradition that is often overlooked is Lutheranism. In this forum video, we'll explore how Lutheran ideas, immigrant communities, and even Lutheran clergy quietly but meaningfully shaped the founding of the United States. Let's start with the Reformation. In 1517, Martin Luther challenged the authority of the church with a simple but powerful idea. Faith is a gift from God, not something imposed by religious or political authorities. He also taught that government and the church serve different purposes, what we call the two kingdoms doctrine. The church speaks to the soul. The state governs civil life, and neither should dominate the other. Sound familiar? That idea paved the way for one of America's most cherished principles, the separation of church and state. Fast forward 2 centuries. Lutheran immigrants from Germany, Sweden, and Scandinavia began arriving in the American colonies. They settled mostly in Pennsylvania, New York, and the Carolinas. These settlers brought with them their faith, their language, and a tradition of local church governance. Lutheran congregations elected their own leaders. They emphasized education and literacy so that people could read the Bible for themselves. They built schools, formed communities, and laid the groundwork for generations of civic-minded Christians. One powerful Lutheran idea that resonated in early America was vocation. Luther taught that every person has a calling, not just clergy, but farmers, teachers, parents, and yes, even public officials. Ordinary work was seen as holy, a way to love and serve your neighbor. For Lutheran immigrants, this gave deep spiritual meaning to their roles as settlers, workers, and citizens. It encouraged them to engage in community life, help organize schools, care for their towns, and contribute to the common good, long before there was a United States. One of the most important figures was Henry Melchior Muhlenberg, often called the father of American Lutheranism. Henry arrived in 1742 and helped organize scattered Lutheran churches into what is known as the Pennsylvania Ministerium, the first Lutheran church body in North America. Pastor Muhlenberg valued both pastoral care and public responsibility, and his leadership helped Lutheran congregations stay grounded in Scripture, while also adapting to life in the New World. And his legacy lived on, especially through his sons. During the American Revolution, Lutheran loyalties were divided. Some remained loyal to the British Crown, while others, especially those born in the colonies, supported the fight for independence. One of Henry's sons, Peter Muhlenberg, was a Lutheran pastor in Virginia. One Sunday in 1776, he ended his sermon with the words of the book of Ecclesiastes. To everything there is a season, a time to preach, and a time to fight. And then he removed his robe to reveal a Continental Army uniform. Peter became a brigadier general under George Washington's army. Henry's other son, Frederick Muhlenberg, became the first Speaker of the U.S. House of Representatives. Here we have two Lutheran brothers, one a general, one a legislator, serving God and country in remarkable ways. After the war, the U.S. Constitution was adopted, including the First Amendment, which guarantees freedom of religion. For Lutherans, many of whom had fled state-controlled churches in Europe, this was a welcome change. The government would no longer tell them how to worship, and the church would no longer control the government. It was, in a way, the American version of Luther's two kingdoms, distinct realms, each with its purpose, working together for the flourishing of society and the common good. Another major Lutheran contribution was to education. Lutherans believed that every Christian should be able to read the Bible. That meant building schools, teaching children to read, and promoting literacy among all people, men and women, rich and poor. In the colonies, Lutheran congregations started some of the earliest parochial schools, especially in Pennsylvania. Their commitment to universal literacy, rooted in faith, laid the foundation for what would become a central value of American democracy: an educated citizenry. While Lutheran churches were often quieter than their Puritan or Baptist neighbors, they were firm in one belief: freedom of conscience. In colonies that often had state-sponsored churches, Lutherans insisted on the right to worship according to their confessions, not under pressure from the crown, and not at the whims of political leaders. Their quiet insistence on religious freedom helped create space for peaceful pluralism, showing early Americans that it was possible to be deeply faithful and also live respectfully with others who believe differently. So today, as we celebrate the founding of our country, we remember that freedom is not just a political gift. It's a spiritual one, too. Lutheran immigrants and pastors help form not just a new nation, but a new kind of public faith, rooted in grace, shaped by service, and committed to the common good. Their legacy is one of faithful citizenship, where worship, work, and community are all a part of God's calling. And that is something worth honoring, not only on Independence Day, but each and every day. This has been a look at Lutheranism and the founding of the United States. Thank you for watching. Please like, share, and subscribe to this channel for more reflections on faith and history. And from all of us here at Emmanuel Lutheran Church, have a blessed and happy Independence Day.